Hey Internet, this is Gunter with MiniMishaps Games, and today I'm going to be starting a project to figure out what my stats would be if I were a 5th edition D&D character. Okay, so this project has been rattling around in my brain for some time. And it's super nerdy, and it's maybe overboard for RPG nerd, but I think it'd be fun to kind of figure out what actual D&D character would be able to do with myself, my physical. And I think this will be a helpful tool for dungeon masters who are trying to make things realistic. So what's going to happen in this project is today in this video I'm going to be making a bunch of guesses about what I think my capabilities are against the game metrics. And then over the course of our videos, in this block of videos, we'll be testing that against the actual expectations of a character in D&D. So, for example, movement is 30 feet for an average person, an average character adventurer, and that means that using a dash action would be 60 feet. So I'm gonna have to see if I can run 60 feet in 6 seconds, which is the use of a single round in real time. So those kinds of experiments are going to be how we figure it out. So I'm going to assume, because I'm human, that I'm going to start with certain things and then see if I can live up to those. The movement is one that I'm expecting that I will show that I am a gnome or a dwarf by my physical capabilities. But we're buried in snow and I can't really do my run test yet in the present. So right now we're just going to have my guess for today's video be that my movement is 6 squares or 30 feet. So D&D also lists that a commoner, completely average person has 10 for each of their scores with a 0 modifier. So anybody that is more than that or less than that would modify accordingly. So I'm going to be comparing myself in this video to all the people that I know and where I think I fall on that spectrum starting at 10. With the assumption being that the upper limits are superhuman and unattainable, since I don't have access to things like magic and hero level training gear. Maybe some future videos to be continued. But let's just go on down the line. So we're going to start with strength. So you like to think that you're stronger than the average person. I am going to guess that my strength is probably around a 15. So it is stronger than the average person, the average commoner, but maybe not strong enough to be like a fighter or a barbarian or someone who relies heavily on their strength. So the being large doesn't always translate, and I'm thankfully not large enough to go up a size bracket in the game, which is the size of horses and centaurs, and not quite in that bracket yet. So I'm still would be in the medium-sized humanoid, and so I'm going to set that strength. I'm going to guess that strength is 15. So this is obviously going to be skewed, and I might have some aha moments or some wake up moments and learn some things about myself when I go and actually try and test myself against the masses. But next up we've got dexterity. Now the two things that make me think my dexterity is high is I ran a dance studio for 10 years, and also all of the stuff you've been watching me do on the videos is all sleight of hand stuff, painting and carving and all of the art stuff is all kind of hand-eye coordination. Now, Do I think I could pick somebody's pocket or pick a lock? I don't think so. But same with strength, I don't think I could just go around kicking doors in. So, so for dex, I'm gonna say 17. I'm gonna guess that my dex is higher than my strength. So again, that might be the one that I fall the furthest. Literally, I guess it would be for failing an acrobatics check. That one that I fall furthest from my guess. So, but you like to think that your reflexes, and that's maybe a better measure, is my reflexes are better than my actual bodily strength. So, Constitution, I don't know how to guess Constitution because I react aversely very quickly to bad food, but I also very seldomly get sick. So I don't know if that is good luck or if that is good Constitution. I'm going to say my Constitution is average. I'm going to say my Constitution is 10. Intelligence. So this is the ability to study and do books. So I'm going to probably set this one kind of high. And that's because I love learning languages. I love doing math. I love the nerdy sciences. And music, and those things are all intelligence based. So I am going to set my intelligence at 16, I think. So no genius necessarily, but a good study, I think, and I like learning. All right, so wisdom would include things like faith, and also would include street smarts and common sense. And I think I get frustrated with this a lot of times, being like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I have a better gut feeling about that? This one I'm gonna give myself a deficit. I'm gonna say in wisdom that I've got, why did I go into these fields that are a lot of struggling? So I'm gonna set that at a deficit of two. So I'm gonna set that at 8. Well, modifier of 1, but and then the last one is charisma, and that's one I'm sure everybody's going to be the hardest on themselves about. I believe that if I measured myself in the standards of the world, that I'm below average charisma compared to the next person. So, and maybe I find out that I'm wrong, and maybe I find out that, the persuasion and the gift of gab and the stage presence is more important than the aesthetic beauty. But that's what this series is all about. It's self-discovery and doing it in a fun, nerdy, approachable way. So I'm going to also set my charisma at a deficit of 2 and have it be 8. So 6 movement, 15 strength, 17 dexterity, 10 constitution, 16 intelligence, 8 wisdom, and 8 charisma. So, what kind of character am I? With those stats, I'm smart and dexterous, with a side of strong. So, maybe a ranger or a rogue would be a good match with those dex and int, because so maybe a rogue mage, rogue wizard, multiclass, rogue wizard. Definitely would love doing magic and having access to magic abilities. Not really one for sneaking. I'm not really very good at sneaking, so maybe not a rogue. I like the outdoors, so that's a play for ranger again. And ranger wizard. I don't think I've ever had a player be that combination before. So I'm going to say a ranger wizard. And I'm going to say that these stats are are what they are, and I'm not going to modify them by choosing a race. I'm going to try and deduce them by the race that I would then generate for myself. So, high dex, low charisma, so not really elf, not really high enough strength for a half orc or dwarf, or maybe that's because maybe for dwarf but then the dex is high. Halfling can have a high dex and medium strength and high intelligence. Or gnome, and a gnome would be maybe good for the low charisma. So we are going to say gnome. We're going to go with a ranger wizard. I'm a gnome. I'm a tinkerer. I love crafting and figuring out how things work. Alright. Okay, I think that we are off to a good start, and we will hopefully look forward to testing these out and seeing where they fall in real life. Thanks for partying, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe, and you can support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee, and we will see you for the next video. Thanks, Internet.